What's going on, everybody? I am back from a much needed beach vacation. Now, typically when I go on vacation, I bring a couple of design books with me, try to get some ideas, not only for the channel, but also for work and other things like that. However, this time I intentionally did not do any of that. So my design wheels have not been turning for over a week and they're feeling a little bit rusty right now. However, I did find this really cool design on Pinterest that I think I can easily adapt into like a beach ad or something like that. So let's jump into Illustrator and have some fun. Okay, here's the design that I found on Pinterest, and I actually really like how this wave kind of comes down like this and then goes right back up. I'm not sure, this could have something to do with mathematics. What is it, a sine wave, S-I-N-E or something like that? Anyway, I think that we could easily adapt this just by changing the colors from black and white to something that's a little bit more beachy and make it into like a beach ad or something like that. All right, so the first thing I'm gonna do is extend this up as close as we can get to the actual size of it. And this part's actually gonna be pretty easy. All we have to do is recreate this little wave here. And while I'm doing it, I'll just use the color black. All right, so we're just gonna go like this with a pen tool. It's gonna be pretty simple. Nothing too crazy going on with this one. Let's do a no fill on that and just make it a black stroke. I'm gonna go about right here. There's probably a little bit more of a precise way to do this, but I'm just gonna freehand it with the pen tool. We'll just go like this. Actually, I'm gonna not hold shift right there because I want this to match as closely as I can. Looks good. If it doesn't quite match right there, that's totally fine. Then I'll just let the pen tool take care of the rest. So not trying to create this exactly the way that this poster is. I will go in and fix this, however. So let's do this and just kind of give that a little bit of a curve. Now let's go in here and adjust this. Because I didn't use the shift key, it's not gonna be exact. There we go. So we can do that. And we'll just max out that radius right there. Okay, so now I'm just gonna unlock everything on my artboard and move this over here. And what I'll do is I'll make it exactly the size of our canvas right here. So we'll just go 18 by 24 and I'll just have it go all the way up to the top right there. And I'm actually totally fine with the fact that it's not really a perfect wave because waves at the beach are not perfect waves. Okay, let me show you really quickly how you can change the feel of a poster just by changing the colors. So we're gonna go to this sky blue right here and we're gonna change the wave to this little blue right here. It may make it a little bit darker just to give it some contrast. And then one thing that I wanna add to this is like a sun right here. And we'll make it exactly 1 inch in. And then as far as the size, let's set our reference point to about there and we'll do about 4 inches. Actually, I want to bring it in about another inch or so. I don't think that we'll do any text up here in this corner, but what we can do down here is we'll just say Orange Beach, not Beck. And since that'll be the primary type on here, I'm going to make it a little bit larger than our original poster here. I saw this font on DaFont the other day, and for some reason, right now it's speaking to me. I know it's not quite as sophisticated as this font right here. I'm not sure what that font is. However, it is very similar to what you would actually see on the beach. So I think it's gonna work just fine. So what if we did something like this? What if we did these two colors exactly the same? So we'll do that. And I may even go in and adjust those blues a little bit because I'd like for both of them to contrast still. I do like this color for the sky, but I might go in here and make it a little bit more obviously blue. So, okay, that's looking better. I like that. And we'll make the leading 100 points. And now let's bring this down here. And I think, what do we do? 2 inches in? I think that works well right there. So this right here is kind of like a general guide, and it doesn't really have to apply to everything that you do. But what I've done right here is just make a 2-inch margin all the way around the sides right here, and that is what contains all the elements of our poster. It's a good general rule of thumb, but it's not something that you have to apply to everything because sometimes your elements need to go all the way to the edge of the poster or they need to bleed off of the edges. But just for the purposes of this poster, I'm gonna keep everything within that 2-inch margin. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is take all of this and we're gonna paste it into Photoshop and we're gonna give it a distressed look. Okay, so we're here in Photoshop and we've got it on the clipboard, so I'm gonna paste this as a smart object. In general, I like to paste everything as a smart object. That way I can double click on my layers panel and go into Illustrator and change anything if I need to. However, it's gonna be a little bit different in what we're doing today because we're gonna be handling the artwork in a way that's going to destroy the artwork. All right, so we've got this distress texture right here and we're gonna apply this to the art that we have. It's actually pretty easy. So you do it in a couple of steps and we're gonna go up here to select and color range. And we're going to select highlights. and hit OK. And with that selected, we're going to now go to our layer where we have all of our art, and we're going to do Control or Command J. And now we're just going to hide this distress layer and hide our art layer. And this right here, you see we've got this distress look going on. And you can actually take this a little bit further. So I'm going to change this layer name to H for highlights. We're going to go to layer 1 again and go to color range, midtones. And now go here to Vector Smart, hit Command J or Control J. And now those are our midtones. And we're going to do the same thing for shadows. So select color range and shadows. And now go to Vector Smart and do that again. Okay, so now we are going to hide the distress layer and the Vector Smart object layer, and you can see we've got some strange things going on here. So all we have to do here is turn off our shadow layer, and if you want to have a little bit more of a different look, you can turn off the midtones and just kind of reveal those parts. If you want to go for a completely destroyed look, you can just turn off the highlights. But generally, I recommend leaving behind the highlights and the midtones. Most of the times you can just leave behind the highlights. And if you want, we can do like a solid color background right here, or you can do some kind of a texture back there just to kind of give it a little bit of a highlight there. But here is our distress poster for Orange Beach that's based on that Pinterest poster that I found. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope that you learned something in Photoshop or Illustrator today. All right, thank you so much for watching this video, and thank you for all of you subscribers out there. I know I got a few while I was on vacation, so I really appreciate that. If you like this video, please hit like and subscribe. If you learned something, let me know what it was down in the comments. Also, when you subscribe, click the bell for notifications to be notified of all future content. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.